So, since we've kind of done some wrapping up story arcs here in Chapter 6, or Season 6, excuse me, it's time to go ahead and wrap up the Clovis thing. So, this is a good example of Palpatine being Palpatine, because he pretty much arranges for Clovis to get this information, allows them to get as far as they did, encourages her to support him, and then hires a bounty hunter just to make sure things line up in just the right way. I like the idea of this neutral idea. There must be no war in Scipio because the financial devastation would be significant. It's one of those really weird aspects of society. It's been true in real life for several parts of real human history, too. And I'm not just talking about Switzerland. There have been plenty of points in human history where people are like, we're not going to attack them. Why not? Well, because that's where all the financial stuff is. And it's not even the money itself, because if it was just a big bank with a bunch of money in it, well, that would make it a more tempting target. But no, it's the thing through which everything runs. It's the institution, not the physical species. Now, I do like how the droid just slips on through, by the way. Great security. I kind of find myself wondering how many people saw this for the first time and were like, who the hell's this guy? They even say Clovis straight up, and it's just, I do like his comment about how the economics of the war don't add up and the banking clan is on the verge of collapse. I myself have hinted at this before, and the Clone Wars has actually done a pretty decent job of showcasing the immense financial strain of the Clone Wars. Let me put it to you this way. One of the things I find most interesting about World War II in real life is that that war was quite literally destroying the economy. No, I don't mean like the United States economy or the continental economy. I mean the entire planet's economic structure. The economy was basically crumbling and self-destructing in order to make that war happen. Now, that led to an interesting recovery period, and I'm not going to bore you about that, don't worry. But that's the same type of situation we have here, which makes sense. This is a truly galactic war. Of course it's destroying the economy. Why wouldn't it? If anything, it's one of the reasons why the war going on so long is truly a bad thing. Oh, yeah, and the whole loss of life thing, too. I guess that's part of it. I do love how Padme consistently and constantly pushes back against Clovis, like she doesn't trust him, which is logical. And yet, at every turn when he is not present, she does trust him. I get the really strong impression that at least some of her feelings for him are still there. Now, to explain what I mean by that, some people don't understand that you can be emotionally connected to someone, even in a romantic way, while also being romantically affiliated with someone else. Now, I don't mean like, I don't mean like cheating. I don't mean like a polyamorous relationship. What I mean by that is, if you loved someone, break up and move on and love someone else, there is still the entire possibility that some part of you still has romantic love for that first person. You're not going to act on it. It doesn't really mean anything. It just means you still have those connecting ties to that original person. And I think that's kind of where Padme is here too, especially since, let's be honest with ourselves, at least part of that is probably why she trusts him sufficiently. That and Palpatine prodding her on the matter. So then they go into the vault. I really do wonder if they have physical currency on hand here. I would love to know more about the economics of Star Wars, but sadly no one's ever really done any analysis on it, so I guess I'm just going to have to be speculating in a vacuum. And so it's like, okay, so then the vault thing happens, and then she's broken out, and then there's the whole thing about her being put in jail for several days. Nice jump cut there, by the way. Note how Anakin is nice, kind, understanding, and helpful right up until Clovis's name is mentioned, and then he shifts moods immediately. And he says, of course, that it's all about him being a traitor and him being a separatist, but it's very clear the real reason why Anakin is so fired up about Clovis. More to the point, Anakin is actively rude to the point of being antagonistic towards Clovis, flat out admitting that it would be okay if he died, or if he had to save him it would be acceptable collateral, and just really, really horrible towards him, which I'm sure that definitely won't come up in the future or anything, will it? And of course, there's this bounty hunter. It's one of the guys we've been seeing like since the beginning, really. He's one of our recurring characters. Woo! Nice to see him again. Who was, of course, hired by Palpatine to push them in this direction. And I had a note here, and I just want to mention this note really quick. And that note says, seriously, how screwed would Anakin be without R2? Like, how many times has R2 been there to pull his arse out of the fire? I mean, good Lord. Anyways, hope you enjoyed. See you next time.